everyone. Welcome to Discussion Tell. I am Kemio Logan, and here with me is Christina Ashalu. Today she'll be discussing with us her life as an international student in US. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you, and I'm so glad to have you for being my very first guest.
Thank you for having me. The pleasure is all mine.
Today, I have so many questions to ask you, like so many based on international students. We're in this period of like students traveling, and most of these people that are traveling, they are coming like to school in different like countries, not just US alone. And for you being an international student in this country, right? During your process of application, what were the required documents?
For me, back then, it all starts and begins with the school of choice. You do your research. What state are you going to in the US? What school are you going to go to in the US? And what particular course do you want to study in that school? Is it accredited? Is it a known school for that particular course? So I did my research, and for me, I knew that I wanted to go to a black school. An HBCU to be specific, so that I feel like I am among my peers or people of the same color, people of color, so to speak. So after picking the school, and then you apply, so the school gives you an admission, and in turn they tell you all the documents they require. So it's different for different schools, I think. So for me, they gave me all the requirements, my bank statements from my sponsorship, and every other financial document they required, to be able to actually see that I was able to afford this tuition, and then actually live a comfortable life when I actually come here. So they want to see all of that, and the embassy also wants to see all of that before they give you a visa. So when you get all those documents, you are good to go.
So how long did all this processing takes, like, for you to get a visa?
Personally, within 6 months, but I'll just give a duration of 6 months to a year. It's different for different people, especially right now in Nigeria. Securing the dates for the embassy is really difficult. So 6 months to a year is much more feasible.
Yeah. And for the course you did, like as a nurse and also as an RN that you are, right? What really motivated you, like, to be a nursing, like for you to study, for you to come to America, like you want to study nursing, you want to be a nurse, like what really motivated you to that?
I did not plan to be a nurse. Like people say, oh, I dreamt, or this is what I've always wanted to be. It wasn't like that for me. So when I was growing up, my dad already picked out, careers, professions for I and my siblings. For me, it was like, oh, you're going to be a medical doctor. You are going to be the doctor of this family. And it wasn't a problem to me. It was just a pressure, like, oh, this is what you are expected to do. So, and then I've always been a science student in a science department. I've always participated in chemistry and biology, and I seem to excel and do well. So it wasn't an issue per se, but it wasn't coming from a place of passion that, oh, I want to be a medical doctor. I didn't dream it. My parents did that, but it wasn't an issue in the sense that I succeeded in it, and I was really, really fine. So when the opportunity came for me to school in the US, and they told me that, oh, do nursing. You have more career opportunities in nursing. You earn more money in nursing. I didn't have an issue with it. I'm like, fine, let's do it. Since I already knew that I will end up doing something in the healthcare field anyways. So it was just a no-brainer. Like, I'll do it. No problem.
It was not even like a pressure to you. You are just motivated, like, okay, fine, I'll do this thing. And
since all my background has been in the science department, I went to a university back in Nigeria. I was also in the science field. I was studying microbiology. So I just felt like this is not going to be a bad idea, or it can be worse. Like, I'll do it. I should be able to do it. So
do it. And you studying this microbiology back in Nigeria, right? And you coming here as a nursing. Like, how will you look at the courses, the classes that you did? Like, how is it? I mean, there are some major classes of like chemistry, physics. How will you compare that with the system here?
The system of education back
Uh-huh.
in Nigeria is very much different as it is here. In Nigeria, we have like 2,500 students in a lecture theater. Like, there is no closeness. You know, in a semester back in Nigeria, I think I will go to class 4 times in an entire semester because it was too full, it was too noisy, and you really didn't get the best of anything. You just, relied on other students or the departmental head. That's what all we did then. So here it's very much different. The professor is very much into your progress. You have like 30 students to a class, to a professor. You are able to ask questions. You know that professor on a personal level. So it's very much different than back home. So that experience was good on my part. Microbiology didn't really it didn't really help me in nursing, but it did help in prerequisite before the nursing program. So because I took biology already, I was very good in biology. Chemistry was like very easy for me, but in nursing per se, it didn't really help.
It was like entirely different. Is it looking at the courses or looking at what exactly? Because it's still science.
Well, science is different from health science.
Oh, okay.
Microbiology is like when you are in a STEM department, so to speak, but nursing is not under STEM. It's not science, technology, engineering and maths. It's on its own. It's under the healthcare field. So it's very, very different.
Oh, okay. So, and also like being an international student and with the way, the school fees, the tuition, and also what were the challenges that you faced like during that period?
First of all, I was coming into this country as a teenager, a young teenager. I had been under the shelter of my parents all this while, up until then. So it was really very difficult to come to a country. I did not know anybody by myself. It just took the grace of God, basically, and my parents, you told me you can do it, because that's what I actually told my dad. That, don't worry, I'll survive. People go there and they survive because they were so scared. Like, you don't know anybody there, you don't know any family. Like, why would you be there by yourself? And you are going to start a life by yourself, basically. So, like, if you will support me financially, I will do the rest, so that they shouldn't worry. So that was just me being brave on my part, but coming here, it was a different ball game. Like, I really felt it quickly. Stepping into this country, I was thrown back into reality real hard. So tuition was a big struggle, like a very, very big struggle. My parents made a huge sacrifice in actually sponsoring me here and keeping me in that university for an entire semester, because it was a lot of money. It was a big amount of money, and the exchange rate then was really, really expensive, was very high. So it was a huge deal. They went through a lot of sacrifice, sold his land, sold houses just to put me through school. So I was under the pressure not to fail and to make them proud, basically.
Wow. So you're not even knowing anybody in this country, right? So what were the support you're getting from people around? Like, how was it trying to meet people, getting support?
Being in the US, everything is all about information. I think, meet the right people. Right people.
Oh yeah.
Not the wrong, because there are a lot of people and there's so many crazy people in the US that won't take advantage of you. Merely knowing that you just came, they want to take advantage of you. So meeting the right people was a big struggle. Like, oh, can you tell me how to do this? Can you tell me how to survive? What can I do to make it easier on my parents? Like, those were the questions I had. Meeting the right people to tell me the answers to this question was also a struggle. But at the end of the day, I met a few people that has been, and they are still pillars in my life. They helped me be rooted in this country, like, so to speak. So, like, they gave me advice that became fruitful in future. Like, oh, you can get a job into school, pay your rent by yourself, you can do this, help your parent out. you can leave the university and go to a community college so that you don't stress your parents. So at the end of the day, I took some of those advice. I left, I went to a community college. I finished out my nursing program. In fact, and then I majored in another course. I started doing biotechnology just because I could, and I could afford then to pay my tuition myself without having to bother my parents.
So all this advice of like people around really helped you, and it's more of like you trying to open up, talk to people, right? Like meeting people, and all this really helped you in surviving all by yourself. So even with the pressure of like, okay, being an international student, your parents are paying your school fees, and you have to be in school, you have to get a good grade. Like, how did this affect you, your mental health?
First of all, I was a very shy and reserved person. So immediately I got into this country, like I got to the airport, I discovered that I had to loosen up a little bit. Not even a little bit, a lot. Because for me, if I was in my country where I'm comfortable, I would just be by myself, you know. I won't even try to ask for help if I could help it. Like I would try to do things myself. But when I got here at the airport, I was kind of stranded. My phone was dead, so it was like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to look and pray that somebody will come and ask you, do you need something? It got to a point I was jumping from pillar to post, asking anybody, can I use your phone please? I need to get in touch with somebody. So from then I just discovered that, okay, I can bring out a whole new personality and become another kind of person to get what I need in this country, to be smarter, to be wiser, and to have is it killer instinct now, like that instinct to survive. Yeah. So that's all I did. I just grew that thicker skin, asked a lot of people, can I use your phone, can I do this, can I do that? So from there I just knew that it's going to be much more of this, that I'm going to be doing this asking. I'm going to be asking questions to the right people, to people in general. So it's now based on me to have the spirit of discernment. Is this good advice or bad advice? Is this advice going to help me? Is it going to shape me to be a better person per se? So I just think everything boils down to your upbringing.
Yeah.
So when you see yourself in another place, you are okay, you are able to stand the test of time.
So looking at even all this, you have to, even if you are not social yourself, right, you still have to pretend, you still have to do it just for you to survive. Then how did you balance that with your academic? How were you able to balance your academic and your social life together?
Being able to ask questions is different from being social. I was not social. My social life was zero. It was non-existent. So I just needed to come out of my shell and ask questions when I need to. That was all I did. So I never went out. I didn't even make any friends. So my academic life was like priority. So that was what I was doing. And then I focused on the job so that I could support my parents back home. So that's all I did.
And your parents were the one paying your school fees back home. And looking at the fluctuation of the dollar to naira, the exchange rate, so how was that like a challenge for them?
Yeah, it was a huge challenge. That's why I had to leave the university. Even now, I can see the dollar is still a lot high. So I praise Nigerian, African parents that, are able to sponsor their children, actually pay their tuition from back home. Like, they are doing the best. Like, you should appreciate them every single day. Like,
so you had to make the sacrifice from a 4-year university to a 2-year university, all because like the exchange rate of your parents paying all this money.
Correct.
Wow,
yes.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So I mean, what were the things? What did you do for fun? Even if you're not even social, I mean, just for you to do just for fun, like let me just have fun.
For fun, what I did for fun, I went to the movies. I read novels, but personally I like traveling. So, but I've not had the time and opportunity to. I did not have the opportunity to travel back then, but now I am trying as much as possible to like put it on my list to, actually go somewhere, go out of states and travel.
And just meet people and talk to people. Or just for you to just do that, just to have fun in your home.
Yeah, meet people, okay, on the way. I'll try. Yeah.
Yeah, and also in the school that you were, right? I mean, how were you able to, you mentioned it earlier that you're this kind of person, you're reserved, you're just on your own. But how were you still able to talk to people, like just to meet people? Like, how were you able to do all those things?
You know, that when I said when I got here, it's
Uh-huh.
like I took out an outer skin and put on a new one,
Yeah.
a tougher skin. So it was the instinct
I'm even
not
talking
to
about
fail.
in class, like you
Yeah,
being in class.
yeah, that
Okay.
instinct not to fail your parents. Like you
Uh-huh.
have to do the necessary.
Oh.
So if I'm in class, I have a question, I'm feeling shy. Maybe that's the question that's going to come out of my paper. I can't ask that question because I'm like, oh, a lot of people are going to look at me. Maybe I shouldn't
How do
ask.
you feel doing all this?
It was just that instinct not to fail.
Not to fail.
The
Okay.
instinct of looking at the money they are paying on you. Like, you don't want to
So
disappoint.
it's kind of like you're just pretending, but that's not who you are.
Well, it's not pretending when you are asking questions. That's what I'm saying. If I'm trying to mingle now, I'm trying to make friends. Maybe I'm pretending, but I'm in a class. I have a question that needs to be answered. It's not really pretending. I need that question answered. I need my knowledge broadened. That's why I'm asking that question. So I'll find every possible way to like come out of that and actually ask the question because it's going to do me good, not the professor. It's me that is going to help in the long run. Yeah.
So what were the challenges you faced, like being in class in the school? Like what were the challenges you faced?
Yeah, so I quickly found out that there was the language barrier immediately. I found out that, oh, Americans spoke a lot faster. I had to is it train my ear to actually hear what they are saying? And it goes vice versa too. They're like, I can't really hear. Or they keep repeating, say what you said again. Like, so it's like, I also have to speak slowly. And then I discovered that, oh, maybe we also speak faster. I don't know. I thought they spoke faster, but they also think the same way, thinking that I spoke faster. So it was a new learning curve to, actually have a listening ear, like what are they actually trying to communicate with me, and me also being observant and trying to slow down, so that they can hear me and understand me properly. And then the shocking aspect of it is that you have racism, white people and black people. Now it's like even African Americans, they don't like Africans. And then you now get to even the nitty-gritty of it, like Nigerians don't like Nigerians. So it was really hard and tough to make friends. I was already a reserved person. So when you're not even someone that is bubbly, people just tend to look at you like, no, I don't want to be seen with this person or something like that. So I would think that was one of the major reasons I didn't make friends and I wasn't as social back then. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's like it's so strange when the way we all know it is like white people to black people, but it's now so strange when you're now noticing like this is not just about white to black, this is about black to black, and this is not even just about black to black, this is about Nigerian African to African themselves. Like being Nigeria, they will feel like, oh yeah, Yubo, oh yeah, Yoruba, oh you can't do this because you're this, you're that. So what were the most question like people don't ask you was if they ask you where you from and tell them you're from Nigeria, right? So what are the like kind of common questions they do ask because you're from Nigeria? What are the stereotype? What are the thinking that do come to their mind because you're from this particular country?
Okay. First, when they notice that you are a Nigerian, there's the stereotype that you're supposed to be a know-it-all. You're supposed to know everything. So when you're asking a question like, are you not supposed to know it? You are supposed to be the all brilliant, all intelligent. Like, we are here to learn too, like, basically. And then the question about, do you guys live with lions? Do you stay on trees? Do you have the internet? Do you guys use phones? Like, I'm like, you have Google, like, check. So
Exactly.
So those questions really blows my mind. Like, we're not coming from under the ground. It's also a continent, like, basically. And then the internet is at your disposal. Just Google, like,
just check.
Educate yourself, basically. So yeah, all those kind of questions, they get you annoyed sometimes, and you just be like, okay.
So how was it like between you and your professors, and how was there any challenges? Like, okay, because you're from Nigeria and your professor is as like really really expecting that you need to know this thing all. So what were the like challenges you faced regarding that?
Didn't really come from the professors.
Oh,
It
okay.
came more from students. Like they are surprised when you are asking. So the professor is there to answer. That's what they are being paid to do. That's their job, to teach, educate, and impact their students. So it comes mainly from the student. Like, why is she asking? You're supposed to know. I'm like, I'm doing this course just the same way you're doing it. I'm here to actually learn. If I knew it, or I wouldn't be here. So it came mainly from the student, not the professor.
Not even the professor. Wow, that's really strange. I mean, so what are the things like? What are the opportunities out there for nursing students? Like being a nurse, come to this country to study nurse, right? What are the opportunities out there?
First of all, nursing will be, and is forever a hot cake. What's the word? Profession. You never run out of a job. You are always in need. Especially nowadays, everybody's sick. Everybody grows old. At some point, you will need care. You will need to be taken care of. So nursing is like forever evolving, but is not going into extinction anytime soon. People need someone to take care of them. Nursing is, so for me, if you study nursing, the list of opportunities is endless. You are open to a sea of opportunities. There are jobs left, right, and center waiting for you once you're a nurse. Like, the list is just endless. Like, there's opportunity to, get a job where they actually file for you to remain in the country as a nursing student or as a nurse, as opposed to other professions. Like when you study in school, like they may not have that same opportunity and grace, but as a nursing student / nurse, like seriously, you are needed, really really in high demand, that they will do it. They will forgo every other thing and like, don't worry, just come work for me, I'll file for you. So it's like that.
So now we'll go on break, then we'll come back. I'm here with Christiana Shalu Haren. Welcome back to Discussion Cell. I'm here with Christiana, discussing her life as being an international student in US. So Christiana, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you recommend coming to US to study?
A strong 9.
Right.
You can, like, the education system here in the higher institution is just really really superb. Like, you have the one-on-one interaction with your professors. There is the state-of-the-art facilities, libraries, laboratories, like really really good. So compared to where I'm coming from, I would recommend it. I would really recommend coming to the US.
Yeah, so now being an RN now, I mean, how's your life so far? What are your plans? What future plans do you have? What are you doing presently?
Right now I'm working.
Okay.
I have a lot of responsibilities that I'm shouldering. Like, at the end of the day, this is what my parents wanted. Like, okay, become what we want you to become, and then take care of us. So I have that responsibility on my shoulders, working hard so that I can take care of my parents back at home, and then further my education. Still, like, the plan is to become a nurse anesthetist in the nearest future.
Nurse what?
Anesthetist.
Oh, okay.
So, and I just deal with anesthesia basically for people that are going to have surgery. So they're the highest paid nurses for now. So that's what I plan to be.
So do you have any current projects you're working on doing?
Current projects? I'm still schooling. I'm in school.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing a double major, still doing biotechnology and continuing my nursing education still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So on a lighter side, I would love to ask you some burning questions. So yes, I'm going to read it out. Would you rather have your dream job or find true love?
True love or dream job?
Yeah.
That's a really hard question. What would I rather have, true love or dream job? What is love?
What is job as well?
No, job is something I can hold on to.
Okay.
But love, I don't know.
Love.
Love. I think I'd rather stay with a job. My dream job. I make my dream money. Yeah.
Then you're going for true love, okay? Okay, that's fine. Then the second question is, would you rather know how you are going to die or when are you going to die?
I'd rather know how.
Why?
I feel like when I know when, I will forget I won't actually live the life I have right now. I will be thinking about the time I'm supposed to expire. So it won't give me a lot of room to actually live up to my potential before I actually die. So I just prefer to know how. So I would really like a peaceful death in my sleep instead of it being horrific or being very sick.
Okay. So the third question is, what is something you hate that everybody loves?
The Nigerian staple amala and gbegiri. I dislike the food with passion. But everybody seems to like it, so no idea why.
You just don't like it for like you don't have any reason, just something like you don't like.
I don't like it. I don't try to eat it, so I don't like it.
Wow. So if you could travel back in time, what period would you go to?
In my personal life, right?
Yes, in your personal life.
I would prefer to go back to my childhood days when I didn't have a care or worry in the world and I was being taken care of.
Oh, okay. So now, want to make a high-pitched sound together. So 1, 2, 3, let's go. Yeah, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
Thank you. So hi guys, this is Christiana Asholu. We discussed about her life as being an international student in US. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share with your friends. Follow us on all of our social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Please follow all of our social media platforms. Thank you so much. And I'm also open as well. You can DM me. I'm open to more questions, things you want me to talk about, things you want to listen to. I'm also open as well to that. Thank you for listening today. Bye and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.